Hello everyone and welcome to Shelby This Week. Top news stories. A huge fire leads to a dramatic rescue, a new police chief, and mobsters win a small victory. All this plus much more, but first, here's a brief roundup of some news items that happened while we were away. Just in case you missed them, a woman was headed for the border but didn't make it. Utica police reported that on December 8th, a 26-year-old employee of Taco Bell on Hall Road was charged with embezzlement. The woman admitted to stashing almost $300 behind some boxes at work. She was arrested, booked, and released her pending warrant authorization. Another story from over the holidays, the roundabouts at 26 and Van Dyke are being eyed after many accidents, and discouraged drivers report the roundabouts as being unsafe. Lastly, the proposed Utica ballpark may have some finance issues. Officials were planning to have a new ballpark on Auburn Road, but are still waiting for financial aid to come about. Our top news story this week: a fire blazed through an apartment complex as children and pets had to be rescued by local heroes. The dramatic scene happened at Crystal Lake Apartments on 23 and DeQuinder on January 6 around 5:30 p.m. Police and fire were on the scene at the second alarm fire, smoke swirling out of a first-floor apartment, leaving tenants above trapped. A woman on the second-floor balcony safely dropped her 4-year-old daughter into the arms of police officer Paul Sorbo. Police Captain Stephen Stanberry tells us more.
Upon arrival, found that there was a family that was trapped in a second-floor apartment. They were on the balcony, and they ended up lowering a 4-year-old child, or probably a more accurate description was they had to drop the child over the edge of the balcony to escape the fire. The child was caught by one of our officers along with another resident who assisted him. And then, with the help of residents, ladders were set up to the balcony, and the rest of the family was able to climb down from that balcony with the help of one of our officers. And really, all the officers that responded did an excellent job of evacuating the building. It was more than just one officer involved, but Officer Sorbo was the officer that assisted in catching the child. But really, all the officers did an excellent job in making a speedy arrival to the scene and evacuating everyone from that apartment building.
A crew of about 32 worked in harsh, cold conditions and had help from local residents, helping police and fire crews rescue people from the burning building.
A friend of mine came over. He said that there was a fire, so I came outside, and there was a child being thrown down from the second story. A police officer caught her, and somebody yelled, "Hey, there's a ladder there, grab the ladder." So me and my friend grabbed the ladder, and we propped it up, and the police officer was able to walk up there and grab the lady and bring her down. And then after we knew that there was nobody else up there, we grabbed the ladder with the police officers and ran around the back side of the building and propped it up on the third story where there was a man and his dog. The police officer went up as we held the ladder with the other police officers. He got down the dog and then the man, and then we proceeded to lower the ladder so we could get onto the second story. He broke through the door wall, checked that apartment. We had to scream at him because the fire was starting to build up. We came down, and then we went through the bottom door wall to make sure nobody was there.
We had a very rapid flame spread. You know, obviously you guys knew about there's a lot of people on balconies, and the apartment where the fire started was occupied at the time, as well as the adjacent apartments. And for the fire to travel that fast when people were there is very unusual. It's not uncommon, it does happen, but we just want to make sure we can identify, because a lot of people could have been injured. And if it wasn't for the quick actions of our battalion chief and the firefighters there, you know, this could have had a very different outcome.
The water and fire damage to Crystal Lake Apartments is extensive. Officials still don't know what started the fire. There was a K-9 unit brought in for further investigation.
We have to look at every possible source for the ignition of the fire, and also the spread of flames. And part of our investigation is that the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, which our investigators work really closely with, brought in a K-9 unit to look for any possible accelerants. That's what the dog's trained to do. And in certain cases, we try to look at different theories and also try to eliminate others so we can focus our investigation. So at this point, all I can say is they're just continuing their investigation to try to find the root cause of the fire.
Again, no one was hurt because of the quick actions from our police and fire departments. A special thanks to Police Officer Paul Sorbo and Battalion Chief Mike Gatos. It's official, a new top cop has been named. Shelby Township has a new police chief, Robert Shelby. The Board of Trustees approved a contract for the 46-year-old West Bloomfield resident who is currently a Southfield police deputy. Shelby will work at Southfield Police Department until his starting date with Shelby Police, January 12th. Shelby's 4-year contract includes a starting salary of $94,000 and an increase to $96,000 after a 6-month probation period. He'll be in charge of daily operations and oversee all the officers and civilian staff. Shelby has an extensive background in police work and is geared up for his new position as chief. He's been with the Southfield Police for 21 years. He's married and has 3 young children. He's currently working on his master's degree at Detroit Mercy and will be searching for a new home for his family in Shelby Township soon. Stay tuned for a sit-down interview with Shelby soon here on Shelby TV. A judge has ruled in the Deanna Brothers' favor, something that the brothers aren't used to hearing. The Deanna Brothers from Shelby Township, who are accused of beating a rival Italian restaurant owner with a bat, were back in court recently. This time, it was about allowing a past conviction of lying on a loan application. Judge Denise Hood denied a motion by the U.S. Attorney's Office to allow the past conviction to be upheld in court today. The 25-year-old conviction was too old, the judge says. Federal prosecutors wanted to bring up the past of Giuseppe Deanna and Girolamo Deanna. The brothers were previous owners of the Shelby Township restaurant Tiramisu, located on 23 in Shaner, and accused in the indictment of extorting Pietro Ventimiglia, the owner of Nona's Italian Kitchen on 23 Mile. Back in 2011, the brothers threatened Ventimiglia and beat him with a bat for opening and expanding his restaurant. The judge's recent ruling, a small victory for the brothers. Coming up, food pantries in need, a downtown interest in Shelby, and a sub shop robber caught. Stay tuned.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
please.
Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Winter months are a busy time for one local group, giving back to the community. Veronica Meadows reports.
It's back to the daily grind for Shelby Township residents. But while busy schedules have started again, one thing still remains. It's the holiday spirit. The Faith Lutheran Church hosts a food pantry a few times a week. Volunteers deliver food from the Macomb County Food Pantry. Then they organize and stock the shelves to lend anyone in need a helping hand.
Anybody can come, and they just need to bring their ID, and then we run their ID through the United Way website.
The pantry is open on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to noon. It picks up more during the holiday months. December left the shelves completely bare.
Because of Christmas and all the other holidays, you know, people have family coming in, or, you know, they feel the need to get together with more people and they need more food.
But in January, business began as usual. The church encourages residents to think about donating their extra food. They will take a variety of different things. But when you are cleaning out your shelves, it's the small details that matter.
If you want to donate food, you can either donate perishables or non-perishables. Just make sure you check the expiration dates.
Faith Lutheran Church isn't the only organization in the area collecting donations. St. Luke's Church on 22 Mile Road has a paper pantry. They accept household items like soap and laundry detergent. Dawn says helping people is her favorite part.
Especially when people come in and they really are in great need, and that we can serve them and help them.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Veronica Meadows.
Looks like a great group to donate to. Exploratory drilling in Shelby has been a hot topic recently. Ever since back in August, a Traverse City-based oil company began exploratory drilling in a local neighborhood in Shelby. Residents around the 25-mile and DeQuinder area have been in an uproar recently over the activity of a huge natural gas and oil exploratory drill literally right next to the homes in the subdivision. Local officials put a moratorium out, shutting down the drilling for 6 months. I spoke with Township Attorney Rob Huth. He says West Bay hasn't expressed interest in drilling again in Shelby, but if they do, they'll have to make a request to the full board at a public hearing. What kind of plans for a downtown Shelby would you like to see? Well, the reconstruction of 24 Mile has given a clean slate of opportunity to update plans and make a walkable town center on 24 Mile Road, east and west of Van Dyke. Right now, as we all know, 24 Mile between Mound and Van Dyke is under construction, so while it's tore up, a concept has been designed to make the area feel more like other downtown areas. A high price tag led the Board of Trustees to table the motion to approve the conceptual development plans. A work session should be held this month to give more input on the downtown design. A senior citizen's condo went into foreclosure and sold, and she didn't even know it. This is a sad case, as we've recently reported to you. Rosemary Heidenfelder, who lived in her condo in Shelby Township at Heritage Place, was unaware of a $300 unpaid repair bill. Because of that bill, her house went into foreclosure and was sold right underneath her. She had no idea until her daughters found paperwork about the sale. Here's what makes the story worse. Rosemary passed away in November at the age of 85. Since then, her family has been trying to challenge the sale in court, which was recently rejected. The late Rosemary's lawyer calls the situation wrong and morally repugnant. Heidenfelder died in her sleep in her condo. Many speculate if the stress of having her home taken away from her had contributed to her death. A robber was arrested after being accused of stealing cash from a bank and more than a footlong from a popular sandwich shop. It all began December 12th. A suspect demanded money at the Charter One Bank in Sterling Heights near Shaner and didn't use a weapon. Then on January 1st, a suspect with the same description went into the Subway shop at Shaner and Hall Roads and did the same thing. Shelby police caught the suspect and was taken into custody. He admitted to robbing both places, was arraigned in Shelby, and will face more charges in Sterling Heights this week. Yet another impressive magazine brought to you by a local school. Nick Buckler tells us more about a popular publication.
The Arrow is the school newspaper at Utica High School that is drawing attention across the country after being named a finalist for the Columbia Scholastic Press Association's Crown Award.
It's a great honor for the students to be a Crown Award finalist because it's a very difficult award to win. There's not a lot of schools that actually win the award.
Students feel that the edginess of the paper is what sets it apart from its competitors.
I feel like our newspaper is really edgy compared to other newspapers. It looks better to me, in my opinion. I feel like it has more life to it.
The newspaper students know how much hard work and dedication goes into putting out a successful paper. They were very happy when they found out that they were a finalist.
It feels actually really good because I know everyone on the staff works really, really hard. So to be able to win this, it shows that our hard work's paying off and that we're on the right track.
Utica High School takes pride in staying up to date with the latest trends, including the newest, Erasma.
It's a free app that anybody can download to their smartphone. And what you do is you download it and you have to follow UHS News. And what that does is it's called augmented reality. And it turns any photo that we tag as an Erasma video, it loads a video onto your smartphone, so it kind of brings your photos to life and people can actually see video footage of what the photograph is.
The 91st Annual Spring Scholastic Convention will be taking place from March 18th to the 20th in New York City. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
We'd like to welcome Nick Buckler to Shelby TV. He'll be reporting local news for us around the area. A local high schooler's artwork will be displayed at the North American Auto Show this year. Daniel Fallin, Eisenhower Sr., won the NAIAS 27th Annual High School Poster Design Contest. Fallin's winning design will be featured in the show's program booklet. The annual art competition was for Michigan students in grades 10 through 12. About 800 entries were accepted. He explains his artwork.
For one, this was not my first idea. That is one thing for sure. I wanted to do a few actual vehicles that I drew up before, but couldn't really use existing vehicles. I was told that after the fact. But considering the fact that I go to the auto show pretty much every single year, one of the years I remember we went across the river after the show, to the Canada side. It was a perfectly clear night, and either my phone or camera perfectly lit up skyline and clear sky, just snapped the photo. And I was looking through old auto show photos for inspiration, came across this. I kind of traced a few of the things over just to get the right layout of it, but the rest I drew in every single line, which was very long and tedious.
Fallin attends the Utica Center for Science and Industry, where he worked on his poster design on Adobe Illustrator program. Daniel's teacher, Michael Allor, tells us more about this project.
And it's sponsored by the Detroit Auto Dealers Association. And it's a wonderful contest because it gives students an opportunity to have an actual demographic that they need to accomplish. They're given in the real world, they're given actual parameters that they need to follow. So it's a good, the constraints are really kind of like real world environment type of work. And I think it's just great that they offer that for kids to be able to have their work noticed like this.
Besides having his artwork spotlighted in the booklet, he also received a $1,000 award. You can check out Daniel's design and the North American Auto Show January 17th through the 25th at Cobo Center. Congrats to Daniel Fallin. Get your W-2s, your 1040s, and your receipts organized. It's almost tax time. John Martin spoke with the officials for more information.
You've probably seen this guy on TV warning everyone about the Affordable Health Care Act and taxes. Rochelle Wood of H&R Block is here to explain what you need to know about tax preparation this year.
The Affordable Care Act is the biggest tax law change that we've seen in 20 years and is going to affect all Americans in some manner on their 2014 tax return. The IRS has issued 5 new tax forms because of this new act. The biggest and most important form is going to be the 1095 form. If you got insurance through the marketplace, you should be receiving this 1095 form. You will need this form to do your tax return, or if you have somebody prepare your tax return, you must bring this form in to have your tax return prepared. If you didn't receive a 1095 form, you may be covered by an employer plan or a third-party insurer, but you still will have to answer a number of additional questions by your tax preparer or on your tax program so that you can avoid paying any additional penalties for failure to have health insurance for 2014. Unfortunately, many Americans are going to be facing additional penalties for failure to have qualified health care coverage for the year of 2014 when they do their 2014 tax return. If you go see a tax preparer, they hopefully will do a thorough interview. H&R Block has a program that if you have any questions, you're not sure of your situation, you're not sure if you will be faced with any of these penalties, come on in, sit down with a preparer. We can go through your situation and kind of let you know ahead of time what you may be looking at as far as your tax return and any effects that the Affordable Care Act would have on your tax return. The penalty is about $95 per adult or 1% of your income. The greater amount is what you will pay for penalties. But there are exceptions to the penalties, so you may qualify for these exceptions also. There's a lot of exceptions, so it's important that you meet with someone, sit down, go through your information thoroughly and make sure that you have met all the requirements that you need to, and maybe you do meet some of the requirements for the exceptions.
Electronic filing for the IRS and the state of Michigan will not be allowed until January 20th. This year's IRS tax filing deadline is April 15th. For Shelby This Week, this has been John Martin reporting.
Thank you, John, for those great tax tips. Our local state rep is open for office officially. Pete Lucido, state representative for the 36th district, officially opened his Lansing office recently to serve citizens of Macomb County. Shelby residents can contact Lucido in Lansing at area code 517-373-0843 at P.O. Box 30014, Lansing, Michigan 48909. Lucido's office is located on Capitol Avenue, room 885. It's the new year. That means new programs and events going on in and around Shelby Township. Some exciting family fun planned for you. Arthur Schenk gives us the details.
The holiday season may be over, but all those skis, sleds, and skates received as Christmas gifts are just waiting to be used. Luckily for us, the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department has a lot of places to test out those gifts. Get those skates ready.
Well, Art, I can tell you this year we're very excited about the new ice rink we have at Mace-Decker Park. It's twice the size that we had in past years. Also, we have 2 hockey goals out this year because we know the kids in the community love to go out and play hockey. Also, it's at Mace-Decker Park, one of the nicest parks we have. Nice parking near the rink. We have bleachers out there. We're going to change your shoes, put your skates on. And our maintenance men groom it. So as like today, for example, it's just perfect sheet of ice right now. And we also have the lights on in the evening. So Monday through Friday, you want to go up there after school with your children and enjoy the skate since it gets dark so soon. So we're very excited about the ice rink.
If Santa has brought you some new skis or a sled, the Recreation Department has areas for that as well.
And anyone's welcome to come on out, bring their cross-country skis out. We don't have a cross-country grooming machine, but we have people go out one time down. They have a nice pathway for them on their skis. And also we have the sledding at Riverbends Park. The sledding hill is a nice hill. It's not too tough, and that's over at the Patriot Soccer Field in Riverbends Park, but you come in by the Woodall Community Park off of Ryan Road. And also the new Gene Shepherd Park, we have a smaller sledding hill there. And that's very nice for younger kids, probably 6, 7, and under. You can go out there. Once again, the parking's pretty close to the hill, so you can have a long walk. The park rules, the gates will be open, but it is open from sunrise to sunset. Obviously at Mace-Decker Park, with the lights being on there, the park is open later at Mace-Decker Park for that. But the other park, once the sun goes down, the park would be closed.
So that leaves it up to Mother Nature, who should be catching up with that delivery of snow, which makes sledding a whole lot easier. For Shelby This Week, I'm Arthur Schenk.
Those look like some great programs. Before you know it, spring will be here, and with spring comes baseball and softball season. Shelby's Little League program is open for their 2015 season, and now's your time to become a sponsor. Businesses and organizations can sponsor a team, a division, or field, and funds collected will go towards equipment and field maintenance. If you want to sponsor, call 586-731-0300 for more information. Are you ready to clean out some closets? The Shelby Township Parks and Rec Department is hosting a mom-to-mom sale on Saturday, January 24th from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. A great way to sell your kids' clothes, baby toys, and furniture they've outgrown. This sale will be held at the Community Center, 51670 Van Dyke Avenue. If you want to sell, it costs $18 for selling space, and entry fee is $1. Call 586-731-0300 to register. In health news, corn syrup was found to be more toxic than we thought. Studies found that the effects of fructose-glucose mixture found in corn syrup and regular sugar had different effects. The study shows that in humans, especially women, could face health problems if they consumed too much corn syrup. So if you can, stay away from corn syrup and try regular sugar or no sugar if possible. Up next, a new year, a fresh start. We'll explain after the break. It's a new year, a time to start new, a time to make resolutions, a time to become a new you. People have different ways to change their lives for the better, be it anti-aging exercise or to stop drinking pop. Here's some wisdom for the new year. hold on to those resolutions. Don't quit on your goals. If your New Year's resolution was to work out 30 minutes a day, stick to it. Remember, a new year, a new you. And speaking of January, Elvis Presley's birthday was January 8th. He would have been 80 years old. Long live the king. I love Elvis. And that's Shelby This Week. You can watch us online all the time at shelbytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShelbyTWPTV. Thanks for watching.
Kentucky rain keeps pouring.